Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 Mods Weekly, the show where we take a look at some of the really cool and interesting mods that come out in the past week for Fallout 4. This week we've got a good variety of mods. No two mods are alike this time around, but there's not a ton going on as it was a bit of a slow week. But don't fret, I do have something very special for the very end of the video, so stay tuned for that. We have another little addition from the attachment pack. Yes, I actually do have a little bit of attachment pack stuff I want to show off that wasn't fitting for its own video. Last time around, I asked you guys for some ideas on how to do proper wood furniture for the laser rifle, and you guys flooded me with all kinds of suggestions. So I took some of those and came up with some ideas of my own, and I'll be showing all of those off later after we go over all of the mods. But first, we've got some business to attend to. The very first mod that we'll be checking out today is the Perk Menu style Fallout 76 by 01Kevin03. This is a very simple mod that's going to overhaul the perk menu from Fallout 4's regular old poster design into one that's more like Fallout 76. Now, this isn't going to overhaul any of the perks or change the way anything functions. It's going to be pretty much identical to vanilla in that sense, but the visuals of this mod are really cool. If you're a fan of the Fallout 76 aesthetic, this one is definitely really neat. It's very bright and colorful, lots of contrast, and something that's really cool is instead of having the poster background, it's actually transparent, so you can see all of the perks and everything and still have a background of whatever's going on in the real world. So if you were to say open this up in combat, you may see a raider shooting back at you, or maybe you can look at this while you're staring at your beautiful settlement. Now, there's really not much more to it. This is a very simple mod. There are a couple versions you can download. There's actually 4 in total that will just change what elements are on the screen. I went for the simplest version, which is just nice and neat, but there are some that have the Bethesda logo and the Fallout logo and some other little neat features here and there. It's really up to you which one you pick. The file size here is really small, so you can go ahead and download this and not even have to worry about space. Definitely some really cool artwork by 01Kevin03. Highly recommend you check this one out. It'll be linked down in the description below, along with all the other mods in this video. Now, the next mod we're checking out is the only standalone weapon mod this week, and that is the Chinese Laser Revolver by Soroka90. That's right, the author that's usually known for big, huge, heavy energy weapons is now here with a tiny little pistol, and this thing is really neat and definitely very unique. The idea behind this thing is that it is a Chinese operative laser revolver, though the way it's integrated to the game is a bit odd. There is no leveled-less integration for this, there is only one version, and it's found over at the Sanctuary Hills root cellar. So head over to Sanctuary and head into the root cellar, and it'll just be laying there on the shelf. Now, I have no problem with a standalone integration like this. Having a one-of-a-kind revolver for such a one-of-a-kind design is definitely fitting, but I would expect to find this somewhere a bit more, I don't know, lore-friendly, maybe somewhere like the Yangtze submarine. Finding it in the root cellar just seems a bit odd, but beyond that, this mod is still pretty dang cool. There are a handful of attachments you can equip to this thing over at the weapons workbench, a lot more than you typically see in a Soroka90 mod, so that's really neat. They're all very unique looking and have their own cool effects, including some stocks with batteries that will really increase your magazine capacity, which is interesting. Something that's really cool that you can do with a laser style of revolver instead of a regular 6-shooter. And to be expected, this mod does use vanilla animations, but that's just fine. It is a revolver, and there's perfectly fine revolver animations in the vanilla game as it is. Now, there is one minor bug to be aware of with this mod, and that is that the range is a bit odd. The range for the base weapon is about 11, and once you start adding modifications on it, actually goes into the negatives sometimes, which you would think would be bad, but it actually shoots the range so high that you're able to hit targets really far away. I was actually able to hit people in a vertibird with VATS with a 95% hit chance no matter what the distance. So having that negative range is a bit buggy. I think it's because there's no range applied to the base weapon, and so all of the multiplicative stats added by attachments get a little bit funky. But that aside, this is still a really cool energy weapon, a very interesting design, looks like something straight out of Cyberpunk, and it's one that I could see possibly fitting in the lore of Fallout 4. So if you're looking for a cool new energy weapon by Soroka, I'd highly recommend picking this one up. Now, the next mod we're checking out is actually an add-on to an existing weapon in Fallout 4, and that is the Laser Weapon Institute Material add-on by Micalov. Now, you know this is going to be great because it has the Micalov name on it. This is going to add a new Institute skin that you can apply to the laser weapons. Now, this is not going to require any Creation Club content or anything. This is a standalone skin, but it functions pretty much identically to the Creation Club skins. You head over to the weapons workbench, throw it on, and it automatically applies to every single attachment you could imagine. This is definitely a really interesting idea. The other day I was actually thinking of having a sort of laser rifle that would just fit in with the Institute based on the original laser rifle from the vanilla game, but Micalov seems to have already done this by adding a really cool new skin option. So if you're playing an Institute character but you prefer the original laser rifle, you can now have some neat aesthetics that go with it. And what's really cool, and is a minor plus, definitely not intended by Micalov, is that this plays very, very well with my attachment pack. Now the attachment pack is not released yet, but when it is, if you pair these two mods together, all of the attachments work really, really well, including all the new wood furniture I added. Surprisingly, they play really, really nice with the white and red texture, something I did not expect, but I am very, very pleased to see. Now, just to be clear, there are not going to be any stats or bonuses when you equip the Institute skin. It's not even going to change the muzzle projectile or anything like that. It's just a nice little paint job, but it looks really, really cool. If you wanted to make some edits or maybe some attachments of your own to add some blue lasers to this thing, I think it fits right at home in the Institute arsenal. It looks super, super cool. I especially love the attention to detail on some of the minor attachments like the grips and muzzle devices. That little extra bit of detail really throws this mod over the edge and makes it a very, very cool skin. Great work by Micalov as always. This is some awesome stuff, and if you're an Institute player, this is definitely one you should check out. Now up next, the last mod we'll be talking about today before the attachment pack update is the PMC Operator Pack by FafnyB. This is going to add a brand new suite of military armors that you can equip to your character that are all very, very customizable. Now this is going to be a bit more on the modern and tactical side, but there are some cool little lore-friendly additions hidden within the mod as well. Now there are quite a few PMC style mods out there that add cool modern military armors, but this one is definitely interesting with the amount of customization here and how modular all of the armor pieces are. All of the new sets are craftable over at the chemistry station, and you'll be able to throw on a base armor, a tactical vest, a tactical belt, a different balaclavas, helmets, hats, goggles, glasses, and even headphones, and of course some really cool gloves that make the whole set complete. And you can mix and match all of these pieces as they are super modular. There's even versions of the hats and helmets that will allow for face wear like the balaclava included in this mod. Now once you figure out which armor pieces you actually want to use on your character, there's even more customization available over at the armor workbench, where you can throw on a ton of different colors and camos and even change the style of the pieces themselves. For example, on the base armor, you can change the way the shirt is rolled up to the sleeves, you can change the way that the pants are tucked into the boots, and you can even change the way the armor is implemented on the different armor pieces. Like the tactical vest can have tons of different pouches and components, as does the belt, and even the shoulders have some really cool armor options. And every piece that could possibly have armor on it will allow for ballistic weave add-ons, making this some pretty beefy armor. That's going to include any of the helmets, vests, the belt, and the shoulder pieces, and even the base armor, but none of the little accessories like balaclava or gloves. Now once you've got your colors and armors figured out, there is one more piece of customization, and that is patches. The helmet is going to allow you to throw on a variety of different country patches, and then the vest is actually going to let you throw on different faction patches from the game, including Brotherhood of Steel, Institute, Minutemen, and so on. This is a super cool new armor mod, but sadly none of the armors are integrated into the leveled list as the mod currently stands. However, there have already been a couple of mods that will add these to some factions, including the Institute Synths and the Railroad, and I'm sure there will be more to come in the future, as this mod is brand new and there's already 2 patches for this thing. Now one quick disclaimer, this mod works immediately with male characters, but all of the female armors are intended for CBBE. Now this may be a downside to some users, but I'm sure that most of you that are playing female characters are probably running CBBE anyways, and so it should just work for you. But if not, hopefully we'll see a patch in the future that will allow vanilla bodies or maybe some of the other body types out there. Now that's it for all of the currently released mods, but as promised, I do want to talk about the attachment pack just a little bit here. In the last update just a few days ago, we talked about all of the cool new laser attachments, and we said that the laser rifle was pretty much done in terms of attachments, but I got a bit crazy once suggestions started rolling in. Now we actually have a couple of new barrels and a plethora of new stocks and grips that add a ton of wood furniture to the mod. Something I know you guys really, really wanted, and I wanted to make sure that the community was heard. There is wood furniture for pretty much every barrel and every stock you could imagine, except for some of the more tactical stuff, but we'll get into that right now when we check out the individual attachments over at the weapons workbench. So here we are with a regular old laser rifle. Let's get started with the stocks, as that is definitely the biggest change since the last little update. We've added various grips, including a new wood grip, a heavy short grip, which is a heavier version of the regular grip, and different heavy options for most of the standard stocks in this game. So for example, if we head over to the full stock, there is now a heavy version of the full stock, which is completely wood furniture. And then we also have a heavy version of the marksman stock, and that is the stock that we had in the last update, although it does have a newly added grip thanks to Micalov. And then we also have the recoil compensating stock and a heavy version of the recoil compensating stock, which was completely made by Micalov, and this looks excellent. Very, very cool design here. But we didn't stop there. I went ahead and used a suggestion over on Discord, which is the integration of a stock that is very similar to the WA 2000, and I'm quite happy with this one. It may look a bit odd on the regular old laser rifle, but with certain parts, this actually looks really, really cool in my opinion. Now, let's go ahead and throw on the heavy full stock and see some of the new barrels we added to match these different stocks. There are now wooden versions of some of the barrels in the base game as well. So we have the short barrel and the short comfort barrel, which will add a wood handguard, which looks really, really nice. We also have a comfort version of the long barrel, which will have that wood furniture as well. And if we scroll down, we'll find some other wood furniture too. If we get down to, I believe, the marksman barrel, we will see a wood version of that one as well. So now we have what is essentially a laser version of a hunting rifle, a nice long barrel for sniping with some cool wood furniture. But that's not all. We also got a little crazy and added a completely new barrel, and that is the Watts barrel. This is going to harken back to the classic Watts design, a nice suggestion by Alexerator, which initially I wasn't sure about, but now that I've made it, it looks really cool. I'm quite happy with this one. And of course, there's even a version of this that comes with wood furniture. So you can throw this on and now you have what is essentially a completely new weapon, at least visually. Now we can go ahead and take this and throw on a sniper scope, and we have the ultimate, in my opinion, laser sniper rifle. Much better than that super barrel from the vanilla game. And really quick, just to show off what I was talking about earlier, I think that this particular setup with that WA 2000 stock actually looks really, really cool. This right here is an endgame laser sniper rifle for Fallout 4. Now that's pretty much it in terms of the attachment pack update for the laser rifle. Some new stocks and a couple of cool new barrels, and there may possibly be more in the future, but that's pretty much it in terms of updates. I didn't want to have to do a third video on laser rifle parts. So the next time we talk about the attachment pack, we should be focusing pretty much only on the plasma rifle, but if we finish it, we may even have some sneak peeks at the Institute laser rifle as well. So stay tuned for that sometime maybe next week. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, a bit of a different mods weekly this time around, but as always, any of the mods seen in this video will be linked down in the description below, along with Xbox links if there are any available. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a rating, it really helps out the channel, and consider subscribing if you haven't already for more videos just like this. Big shout out to all of my patrons for supporting every single video. And of course, a very special thank you to Captain Chaos, Helljumper, Indecisive Wolf, Jackie, Noy, John Moreland, Cushy, Logan, Rigmaiden, Microhan, Moonlit Gamer, Official Z Vexer, Feed, Timmy76, Youth RC, and Voider. Thank you guys for joining that Tier 3 Patreon membership. If you'd like to support the channel over on Patreon, you can do so using the link down in the description, but it is completely optional. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace!